Hello, friends. I don't want to play favorites, okay, but I have to say I may have been most excited about this Q&A, and I'm going to tell you a little secret. When I was an active agent, I found your Facebook group and it was so inspiring
Oh,
and you just radiated positivity and you really helped kind of over some hurdles. So
thank you.
I was
I'm so glad.
really excited about connecting with you. So let me find before we jump into all the things, you guys, I am with Jan Copeland. Jan, can you please introduce yourself to everyone?
Of
Let
course.
everybody know who you are and what it is you do.
Of course. Hi, everyone. Well, I'm Jan Copeland, and I help women realtors, team leaders, and brokers live the life they desired when they got their license, right? What I call the pinnacle CEO agent lifestyle, which is to make great money unapologetically, serving great clients who actually respect them, all while living the great life. And I call that the pinnacle lifestyle because so many top women agents making multiple six figures and seven figures are living what I call the attractive lifestyle level, where they're making great money, but they're in the hustle and bustle, overworking, over people pleasing, and reacting. So anyway, that's what I do. I came from corporate, Fortune 500, telecom. I lived that hustle bustle life, and I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
But it's not. So anyway, that's what I do.
And I think that the message and what you do is amazing because I think we all fall into that trap, right? Where and you said it perfectly as you help them with the lifestyle they wanted when they got into it because it changes
Yeah.
once you walk through that door. All of a sudden you're met with you have to be working 24/7, you have to spend your weekends, you have to what is that saying? And it just like every time it just like irks me just a little bit. It's like you have to put your boots to the ground. You have to put
Yes.
your boots to the ground and you have to hustle and all of those
Mhm.
things. And that's not to say that you don't work hard, but to have that balance is so, so important.
Yes.
If
Yes.
you
And,
watch
and actually, there's a difference between hustle and hard work. And
yeah,
I discovered that. If you're interested, I'd love to share it. It's up to you.
yeah, share it.
Okay.
Let's talk about it.
So I believe that the life that you're living, the life that I'm living is a reason, and the life everybody who's watching is living is a result of their decisions that they've made, right? And their perspective. And so when you are in the groove and you're loving what you're doing and you're serving your clients and you're just loving it, that's hard work, right? But when you feel pressured and you're like, oh, the drudgery of it and you're people pleasing, to me, that's where the hustle and the hard work, there's a delineation, like how you're thinking about it and how you're approaching it.
I love that. Yeah, that's a really great definition between the two and distinction. So I want to talk a little bit about I know I'm totally putting you on the spot with these questions.
Okay.
By
I
the
love it.
way, those of you that are watching, like just so you know, I do not tell I do not tell the speakers what questions I'm asking. I totally put them on the
Wow.
spot. So I'm curious as far as like right now, obviously we're kind of in just a weird climate, right? There's a
Mhm.
lot going on. There's a lot of I just say noise. There's a lot of noise happening right now with multiple different facets within the industry. And so people aren't falling at our feet. Clients aren't falling at our feet right now. What are your thoughts on the best way to navigate what's happening
Yeah.
and how to go into 2024 with that hard work attitude, but still kind of feel like you have that freedom that you want within
A
your
great
business?
question. That is such a great question, and one that I have been pondering for since the summer, really. I feel like what is missing is intimacy, and not in a like as the buzzword authentic way, because I think that word's kind of overused. I feel like people are so like you call it noise. I say I add a word negative noise. It's like negative noise from this source, negative noise from this source, you know, and the perception out there is that everything is crap and there's a lot of isolation. So I feel like in order for us as women realtors to I love how you said have people falling at our feet, or have people saying, wow, what's this chick saying? Like, I like it. What? And to have them, really keen into you and what you're saying, I feel like we need to be thinking what they're thinking and responding to that. So obviously, with the rates being, around 7.5 to 8, 8.2, whatever it is, the perception is, oh, too high. But I just went live in my group and I told them that in the last 52 years, there's only 4.5 years in the last 52 years where the rate was sub 6%. 4.5 years, right? Out of 52 years. So I think that it's a perspective, and we just got used to it being super easy. Ooh, 2.5%. Yeah, who doesn't? Like, and who couldn't afford, right? So I think it's up to us to be thought leaders and to look at things as they are, look at the facts. And an exercise I took my clients through yesterday that was so eye-opening, and some of the ladies were crying, okay? I said, right now, I want you to go on your MLS while we're on this coaching call, and I want you to pull up your favorite zip code or your favorite county in the MLS. Go to Solds, do from January 1 to October 1 of this year, and just look at the number of closings. That's it, in that particular county or that your favorite zip code, right? Then I said, okay, now go up and do last year and do those same time frame, and let's look at what's true versus the sky's falling down. And the highest was 30% fewer deals. The lowest was 14%. So when they're thinking 80% of the business is gone and they're acting from that place based on the negative noise, I mean, the whole room up leveled and took a shift. And like I said, there were a couple people crying because they were thinking about getting other jobs. And do you know why they were thinking about getting other jobs? Because a real estate guru said, you know what? This might be tough times ahead. You might want to get a part-time job. That pisses me off. That really pisses me off.
Yeah.
But anyway, I hope that answers that question, because I feel like we need to be leaders and look for the truth and not trust the negative noise.
Right. I think that's so. I actually was having a conversation with my husband last night about something very, very similar. And basically, I was contacted to talk about everything that's going on. And I was saying, you know what? I don't feel comfortable talking about everything that's going on because I don't know that I can add anything to the conversation that is going to be positive or that people are going to feel like is helpful, because right now there's just so much of that, like you said, negative noise out there.
Mhm.
And I don't believe in fear-based marketing. I don't believe in building a business based on fear. And
Yeah.
so for me, it doesn't fit where I'm at with things. But I did say, I said, one of the questions that this place asked me to answer for them was, what was going to change? What needed to change? And I said, honestly, the biggest thing that I feel like needs to change is exactly what you said, which is conversations. Just the
Mhm.
conversations that you're having needs to just shift slightly. And that it really is all about the conversations. And as you said, the buzzword, the authentic relationships that you're creating with people. But I think that I love the exercise. And so for those of you that are watching the replay, please go do that exercise and comment what your results are. I would love to know what the difference is between last year versus this year, and if
Mhm.
it's really as different as you think it is or as what others are saying it is. So
Yes.
I love that. Now, I want to jump into a little bit about, you talked about how you help agents live that CEO lifestyle. And I
Mhm.
want to talk about, first of all, what is the CEO lifestyle? And second of all, what are some things that they can do in the planning process to help them prepare to step into that role?
Love it. Okay. So the CEO agent lifestyle is you becoming that CEO. And like what that means is you take on the leadership role as if you were the chief executive officer of a legit business. Because guess what? You are. Like, right? Every realtor, women realtor that's watching this, you are a CEO. So but you have to put that hat on. You have to put that identity on. And it means that you're not people pleasing. You're coming from a place of expertise. And I like to think of it as like, just as a correlation that's super simple that we all can relate to, is like, let's say I live next door to a dentist, and I was writhing in pain for the last couple of days, but I've been too busy to get to the dentist. And I see her at her mailbox, let's just say, the dentist. So I go next door and I say, "Hey, Susie, how you doing?" Chit chat. And then I say, "Hey, you know what? I know I don't want to bother you, because I know, we're not at your office, but I have this pain. Could you tell me what to do? Could you help me?" Because she's a dentist. And don't everybody, the first thing they say, "Oh, you're in real estate? Tell me about it," right? So that dentist with that question would tell me, "Hey, Jan, go ahead and put Ambisol or something on, but get in my office. I'll put a note to my admin to make sure we get you in," right? She's not going to just respond because I cornered her at her mailbox, okay? So she is acting in that sense as a CEO. And what I want every woman realtor to know is that we were taught as girls, when someone asks you a question, you respond. But I want to just encourage everybody that the CEO responds as a leader. And we don't have to respond off the cuff. If you're at your mailbox or at the grocery store and the neighbor says, "Hey, what's my house worth now?" Like, but I have to say, a lot of my clients, and some are making, over 250, they feel so pressured. And they always say to me, "How do I answer that question when I'm at the grocery store?" I say, "You don't answer it at the grocery store. You say, "Oh, tell me, are you thinking about selling, or do you want to get a home equity? What are you thinking? What fun are you thinking?" Right? And to your point, I love the word conversations. Make it into a conversation. That's the CEO lifestyle, where you will never allow yourself to be put on the spot, because you will be proactive and you will be a leader and you will have boundaries. So in that instance, what I would say, if I were the realtor at the mailbox and my neighbor, then I'd say, "Oh my gosh, what fun are you doing? Are you thinking about moving? We're gonna miss you so much." Or, "Oh, are you thinking about a home equity loan?" And then we'd get into a conversation. And if she says, "Well, we're toying with it because Junior is graduating high school," then I'd say, "Okay, cool. I can come over to your home tomorrow night, 5 or 7. Which one works better?" I'm not going to just share information. That's the CEO agent lifestyle, where you have boundaries, you know how you're going to handle situations, and you do so. That will elevate you in authority in that person's mind. Did that answer your question? I think there were 2 parts to your question.
No, I think that is so cool, because here's the thing. I think that we are taught as baby agents to be ready to go at any point in time. So we feel like we always have to be on. I love to tell the story of how we all know the name tag thing, where you should, they say, wear your name tag everywhere. And my training coach took it a step further. And she said, "Wear your name tag everywhere." She goes, "And even when you're at the grocery store," she's like, "flip it upside down." She said,
Yeah.
"Because then people will say something to you." And it's like, at the grocery store, first of all, do I want to look like an idiot with my with my badge upside down? Do I want that look? And is that really where I want to have those conversations
Yeah.
as I'm searching for my green beans? Like, I don't know that that is exactly the type of business that I want to build. So
Yeah.
the idea of, you said, not being caught off guard, and also not having that pressure to always be on,
Yes.
is great. So it's such a refreshing outlook that I don't know that I've actually heard anybody talking about, at least
Hmm.
on here. So I
Yeah.
think that's really cool. Just the idea that, and your dentist comparison is perfect.
Yeah.
Then the next question going into that is, with things changing, and again, that negative noise, and there being so much pressure to, like, oh my gosh, the scarcity mindset. We're all in that scarcity mindset right now. It gets really hard not to be ready to jump when
Mm.
a potential client says, how high? How do we get over that?
Okay, that's such a good question. So, how many of us have tried to diet and we do a good job, and then the temptation becomes so great that we just eat the cupcake, or we're having a crappy day and we grab the whatever, okay, and we overdo it. Okay. That's because discipline runs out. Discipline will always run out. And so let me just say this. So the point there is that we can't rely on discipline. We have to step into and really deepen our belief that we have value to give. And when we are feeling the pressure, like, I need this deal, I always think of How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Like when we come across so needy and, oh, I'll do anything. And if you have any questions, just let me know. And we're so like, we give out such a low authority vibe with that. But instead, if we can say, okay, let me do a brain dump or a brainstorm. Do I really give value? Let me look back to all my testimonials that I've ever gotten, even positive emails, of course, my testimonials on Zillow, whatever. And let me think about, what do people say about me? And you fortify yourself and find evidence in your brain with that give evidence that I am valuable, and I am valuable, and I am valuable. And the more that you can deepen your belief that I am an exceptional realtor, then you won't be feeling so pressured to have to give away the house. In other words, take an overpriced listing, which is leading you down a path of hell, right? Because we know they're going to say, well, you said that we were supposed to list at this price. They won't remember that you said 430 and they said 460 and you just acquiesced to their 460. All they're going to say is, you said 460. I don't know. I'm kind of disappointed in you. You know what I mean? And you set yourself up by people pleasing and taking overpriced listings. So what we want to do is we want to really have those. What I base it on is, what is my client experience that I am delighted to give and that they are delighted to receive? Because I come from Fortune 500, and what I learned was I was at Verizon Wireless back then, it was called something else. But what they always said was, when you're happy, then you're going to be happy to our clients. And then we have happy clients, right? So what I see a lot of is women realtors and men, they acquiesce, they take overpriced listings, they people please, they become so frustrated, and they're just not pleasant. They're not pleasant to do a deal with. They're not pleasant with their own clients. And so if we can fortify ourselves with understanding what my client experience is, that I'm delighted, like it's Ritz-Carlton level, like really good, and I feel good about it, then that's going to be a trickle. And you're going to be more attractive. And that is a way to kind of combat and stop the negative noise.
Yeah. So much good. And people are commenting saying that your presentation has been their favorite so far and that they took crazy notes. So people are loving what you have to say. So I just want to give you that.
Thank you. I'm definitely feeling like this is my calling. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I told my son the other day, because my son is a realtor and he's become my assistant. And we were driving somewhere and I said, honey, my first job was at McDonald's when I was 15. And every once in a while, I think, what did I learn in that job at McDonald's that I'm using right now in my 50s as a coach? And he goes, Mom, how could that be? I said, I found one thing. I'm like, and it's just loving on people. And it still permeates, right? That's still the answer. It sounds so damn like contrived and, whatever, but it's just what's needed right now.
Right. And that really is it. When you've said it, when you love what you do, that radiates, and then others are, they feel that vibe. And so yes, 100%. And somebody said they worked at the drive-thru at McDonald's.
Yeah.
So well, let us know what you learned that you're using now. I'd be curious what your answer is.
Yeah, definitely.
I ate a lot of their French fries as a kid. I still do. So, but oh my goodness, amazing. I want to talk a little bit about, okay, so I'm ready to step into the CEO role. I'm in the right mindset. What should my first steps be? What do I need to really focus on in order to make this shift? Because right now I'm a people pleaser. I'm
Mhm.
somebody says jump, I say how high. I'm
Yep.
willing to take any client. I'm like, "Oh, please, please, please." Okay. How do I get out of that? What's my
Okay,
first step?
so that's such a great question. And it is, we always want the microwave answer. And unfortunately, I'm just a straight shooter and there is no microwave answer, but I do have an answer. Okay. Um, my coach taught me many years ago thought, intentional thought creation. And so, what I suggest for my clients and those in my Facebook group is, and I have a one-page sheet that is a four-step process, and you do this 5 days a week. You know, you can have 2 days off, of course, but you do it like at least 4 or 5 days a week. And so you write what your goal is and you do these goals in present tense. Okay. So I am loving making 200,000 by December 31st, 2023, whatever. Okay. So it sounds weird, but that's the first step. The second step is to go 4 levels deep into why. Because you know what? This world is so fast and so noisy, as you said, that we can't even think. We don't even know what we're thinking. We're just like surviving out here. So when we can like carve out time. I do it in the morning. And then you say, okay, why do I want to make that money? Well, because I want to retire by a certain age. And okay, why do I want to retire by a certain age? Because I want to enjoy life with grandbabies and family. Okay, why do I want to enjoy it? Oh, well, because I want them to not struggle like I did in the beginning, because I come from very humble beginnings. And then why do I want that? And as you do that, you are deepening your passion. And so instead of being pulled along by pressure, right, which is the overworking, over people pleasing, then we can be pulled along by passion because we're like, it's not even about the money, right? Because a lot of women feel like, oh, well, I just want to help people. BS. Come on. If you wanted to help people, you can go join a nonprofit and not get paid. Come on. Let's be unapologetic about the fact that when we make money, our clients win too. So it's not like you're winning and ripping people off. It's a win, 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 right? So the third one, so that's the second one, is to go 4 levels deep on the why. Number 3 is to say, what am I grateful for right now in my business? Right? Even if you are a new, like a baby agent, what am I thankful for? Well, that I'm in Tara's, program right now, right? Or that I have a great broker, or I have a great mentor, whatever. Like find something to be grateful for, because the more ladies that we celebrate, the more we'll have to celebrate. And then the last one is, what is my focus of the day? Okay. So my focus could be connecting, and I'm going to go out and, connect online with 20 people and then go take a walk downtown and connect with 3 other business people who have jewelry stores or, insurance company or whatever. Right. Or it could be paperwork, or it could be like, so when you can see how when you do that every day, you're strengthening you're giving yourself evidence that you're a CEO and that you're in charge. And I'll just end it with this. So many people will say to me, I'll say, well, what do you do in the morning? I check email and I respond to texts. And I'm like, okay, that's reactionary. And so if we start our day off that way, we don't feel like a CEO,
Mm.
right? So we need to decide what we're doing. I don't check email until about 11. And it used to piss people off because they'd be like, hey, I sent you an email last night at 8 p.m. And I'm like, okay, I'll get to it at 11. Right now, if you're in a deal, that's something different. But I'm not in deals right now. I'm a coach. So,
Yeah. And it's funny because if you really sit back and think about it, and somebody said this and it just really resonated because I sat back and I was like going through all of the different situations I've ever had as an agent. But if you sit back and think about it, there are actually very few true emergencies in real estate.
yeah.
I know we like to think everything's hot, 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 but it doesn't always work like that. There were some multiple offer situations when things got super crazy and super,
Mhm.
super high. But other than that, like there aren't really that many true emergencies. that cannot wait until you finish your dinner. Like it
Right.
just is not it's not that deep. So just kind of taking that in mind, and I always like to say I like to be proactive in my business and not
Mhm.
reactive, and as you said, checking that email is definitely one of those things. And I found too, it put me in a bad mood.
Mhm.
It puts me in a bad mood when that's the first thing that I look at,
Yeah.
because immediately people are telling you what you need to do with your day.
Yes.
And you already maybe went to bed thinking, I'm going to have a great day tomorrow. I'm going to get up. I'm going to do this. I'm going to have my coffee. I'm going to, make this phone call. I'm going to do this thing for my website, whatever it may be. But then you check your email and it's people wanting this paperwork or that, or they want a phone call with you, or and all of a sudden your day feels derailed. And it's
Yes.
because you let other people dictate your time. So I think that is such a perfect tip of like, switch that up so that you aren't feeling reactionary
Mhm.
and you can be more proactive in your business as well.
Yeah.
Wow. So many incredible nuggets. I like basically hear the pen and paper going crazy right now with everybody taking notes.
Yay.
I want to do two things. Number one, you've already given us so many amazing tips. Can you give us one more tip that they can put into their business and implement right away?
Okay. That they can implement right away. So I thought you were going to ask me something else. So that one is very good. Video texts get responded to like crazy. Okay. Um, so if you don't know what to do, you don't have a big enough pipeline, go to your phone, go to your contacts, pick, 10, just say, I'm not going to stop till I have 10 people. Okay. Just go one at a time. And then you pull up Jane Doe. Jane Doe was a client 3 years ago. You feel terrible because you haven't been in touch with her. And you're like, okay, well, I don't know what to say to her. No, no, no. It's a perfect time of year. And it always is a perfect time of year, by the way. We can always come up with something. But you could say, hey, Jane, it's your realtor, Jan Copeland. Hey, guess what? I feel like a heel. And I want to apologize to you because you were important to me. And I just see that it's almost been 3 years since I got you into that house. How's it going? And I owe you a hot chocolate. Tell me when we can meet. Please respond back. Talk to you soon. Boom, send it. Right? So we just get into action. And I found that video text, my clients have found, and my team, when I had a team we used to do that. It's amazing.
Awesome.
Okay.
What
Yeah.
a fun tip. Yeah. If you try it, I want to hear what your results are. If you do, I don't know, pick like 3 people or something and
Yeah.
give it a whirl this week. Um, Final thing, will you please let everybody know how they can find you? I know you have a Facebook group. Can you tell us about that and how they can connect with you?
Okay, sure. So I'm more Facebook than Instagram, but I am on Instagram. So Facebook, the group is called She's a CEO Agent. She, SHE apostrophe S, a CEO agent. I go live every Wednesday at noon. I'll be live today. She's a CEO agent. I'm also there as Jan Copeland, Copeland. And then on Instagram, I am real estate coach number 4 women. Real estate coach number 4 women.
Amazing. Thank you so much for taking time. I
You.
hope you guys enjoyed this, and make sure to check out our presentation before it goes into the vault. All right, y'all. That is it for today with Jan, and we will talk to you later. Bye.